Hey ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's Papa Bale and welcome to the channel. Um, I'm currently printing out a base. It's a different idea for a base. Hold on just a moment. Yeah, it's a different idea for a base. I'm just going to put the shaft directly into the plastic instead of having like a bearing or something. So I think that's going to be great. It's two of the 1¼ inch square magnets, and then I just made a round outcropping for them. I don't even think I needed to make the outcropping, honestly. I think the magnets are strong enough to hit the reed switch from behind the plastic, but whatever, you know. It's very, very, very straight. I like it. So currently done. I have the rotor right here. I have the shaft. There's one more thing I got. But oh yeah. I got the maglev for it. So as soon as the base is done printing, I can put the maglev on. So there's two ferrite magnets in here, toroid magnets. One will go on the base, and one will go at the bottom of the gyro. Look at those. Those are pretty. Those are pretty. And they are nice and powerful. So yeah, that'll work. And then I got a lot of these, so you know we can double them up if we need to, whatever. I'm either going to use these single file 26 gauge coils with 1,111 turns in them without a core, or with a core, or I'm going to use my bifilar coils, which is 30 gauge and 26 gauge, and they're 2,000 total turns. But I would say in regards to what I have completed on my next project of gyroscope, I have the rotor and the shaft done right now, and then I have magnets for the maglev, and then I have two of these 26 gauge coils, or I have 3 of the bifilar coils. So I either need 3 more bifilar coils or 4 more single file coils of 26, and here is our bobbin that we use, our former, to make those coils. And a buddy of mine, Peter Hall Effect 2.0, I have like several large, what could be either be a shaft or a core. Could I make one of those jewel ringer circuits out of that steel or that chrome bar that I have? You know, the bar that I use to demonstrate 0 point. To make one of those jewel ringer things. And it's like a solid state, right? It's a form of static generation, right? Where nothing's actually moving to generate. It's just being passed between different components in a certain order to generate. And then of course, coiling and wire connections. See, I've been really looking forward to making the electromagnets for the OCT project that I also have going on. It is also not for a person. It'll be made prototype style, very small. This is it right here. This is what we're going to use. It might even be smaller than this, as in like thinner than this. Alright, so this is what I'm using as a bobbin, or for the coils. Very magnetic material here. And then they're going to go around the rotor like this, with the north and the south corresponding like so. And you're going to have every other hole covered in aluminum. It's not foil, but it's almost foil. I mean, this is really stiff. It's 0.2 millimeters thick. I'm going to wrap it around every other hole. And the idea is to generate enough AC current, or an AC current that will move the aluminum. And then in every other one, because there's 12, there's going to be 6 covered in aluminum. And then in every other one, there's going to be a really clever shape called a utron. And it's basically 2 cones that are touching each other at the base. And all 3 dimensions are the same. So it's cubic. So it'll be 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch in its dimensions. But it'll look like, you know, a circle from one end because it's 2 cones, and it'll look like a square from another end because its dimensions are all the same. You see what I mean? So I have one design that's going to come, and I'm not sure it's going to do what it's supposed to do because it's not the exact shape. I put a little end on it so that it could fit in a 1/4 inch bearing. Yeah, it's probably not going to end up being exactly what I want, so I'm prepared to do 2, and the other iteration will not have the end on it for the bearing, and I will put the point in the bearing and it'll work, probably. Alright, and so yeah, I'm hoping to generate enough electricity here, and I might have to extend these a little bit so that it's more like not an inch and a half, but a little less, so that the spark gap isn't so big. Follow me? So that, yeah, we'll get some electricity jumping around in this thing if, one, we can generate enough electricity from the neutrons. And then there's this thing in the middle, man, that I'm not really gathering too well. Is it a big neutron or can it be a coil? Because if it can be a coil, I'd rather it be a coil. Even if it's aluminum wire, I'd rather it be a coil. But anyway, there's power being passed back and forth between the center and the neutrons. See, what I don't understand is the neutron's got to be spinning pretty freaking fast to generate any kind of charge. So there's something else going on here, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. So when the neutron does get here, I'm gonna plug it into my Dremel, and we're gonna see some serious stuff. As far as I know, like 30,000 RPMs should make it so it'll move a magnet. But the only problem with that is that there aren't gonna be. The only magnets in here are the electromagnets. So I'm hoping that there's going to be enough juice being generated by the spinning neutrons to ignite the the electromagnets. Because it's not like we're going to have magnets in here. Magnetless. It's all going to be done with see, and it's supposed to power itself, which I don't see how that's going to be a thing, considering the neutrons have to be spinning at a magnificent speed to generate the power needed to do that. We'll see. We'll see. I will put it together to the best of my knowledge. I believe we're going to use the bifilar coils, a bifilar coil for each one of these. And I believe it should be a large, small gauge, so a thick wire. Both of them should be thick. So like a 14 gauge and 12 gauge, a 14 gauge and a 16 gauge. You know, something thick like that. Since we're not, I mean, it's not going to be the electromagnets that are generating the electricity, so we don't have to worry about them being generator type coils. So we're going to do thick wire, and this is going to take forever for me to even gather the material to build this. But I will make one of these coils, and I wonder, like, if we could just fit one of the round ones around this, one of the thicker ones, one big hole, and like put two. Two won't fit. We're gonna have to wrap this. Yeah. And I don't know. I've never wrapped a bifilar coil freehand. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do here. that. And yeah, we'll work on it. So this is the rotor. The aluminum is around here somewhere, right here. This is the the bobbin for the electromagnetic coils. But I mean, there's got to be some sort of wireless transmission going on here, man. I mean, it's a gyro, so oh. And I guess the thick wire would be good for that as well. Yeah, the middle, the big accumulator is what they call it in the middle. I'm hoping that this aluminum wire I have over here will do for that. I mean, if I spin it, you know, wind it into it like the shape of an neutron. Oh. And you just make a former that'll fit over the shaft. No, you don't really want anything kind of like touching the shaft, but you want it to be around the shaft for sure. And yeah, I think it'll be all right. So we'll get the former and we'll put it around the shaft. It should be about yay big. And we'll wrap it up. I don't think there's any magnetic aluminum enamel, is what I'm trying to say, on the aluminum wire, so it'll be like a big chunk of aluminum. Hopefully. And those aluminum plates, these ones that we're going to be pushing the rotor with, will be connected somehow to this coil in the middle of aluminum. Bam, the transfer of energy will be complete. We'll see how it reacts when I spin it for the first time, you know, how it all comes together. Anyway, thank you very much. Peace out. Have a good night. And please subscribe. Bye now.